personal favorite, we got to cover this one last thing. Lauren Boebert, the Boebert Duke.
Mm.
My personal favorite. So Lauren Boebert recently uh, got a speeding ticket. Not a big deal. People get speeding tickets. Except for she didn't pay it and she didn't show up to court. so,
Just pay the ticket, girl. Just pay it.
so here's the article from CBS. Congressman Lauren Boebert pulled over for speeding on Vail Pass, pays ticket late. So what happened was she gets pulled over. I think she was going like 15 miles an hour. She was going 84 in, let's see, into 65. So she was about 20 miles over the speed limit. It was a $174 ticket. Okay. Now, in Colorado, according to the Colorado Department of Revenue, any citation payable to the DOR, Department of Revenue, must be postmarked within 20 days of the violation date in order for payment to be applied to the citation to prevent the citation from being sent to court. Court records show Boebert did end up having her citation referred to court in Eagle County because of a late payment. Boebert's campaign manager, Drew Sexton, confirmed the ticket was eventually paid to DOR past deadline on July 3rd. Records show the case was closed on July 9th with a plea agreement. Okay, but what was funny about this is you get the ticket, and I'm an ex-cop. I've written tickets before. You get the ticket from the cop. On the ticket, usually it comes with an envelope, or used to. I don't know if they do anymore. And you just put in the check, and then you mail it, and it's free postage. Right? So the post office takes it. Nowadays, though, you get the ticket, you just go onto the court's website and you pay it.
Probably enter a little citation number, whatever, pay
Right.
it.
Now, because it's a violation of a rule and it's law, you have a right to contest it. So there's also a hearing date automatically on the ticket. Right? Where you show up with everybody else who got tickets, and that's the hearing date, and you show up in front of a judge. So if you don't pay it, right, by paying it you're pleading guilty to a violation of a rule. It's not criminal, it's just a violation. So you pay it, you pled guilty, right? If you don't, you can show up to the hearing and contest it. Right? I used to be a cop, and you'd have to show up to these hearings all the time. They were dragged. Right? But people can contest it. But if you don't pay it and you don't show up to the hearing, now they automatically they can automatically find you guilty, but what ends up happening is now they put out another little warrant on it, on the ticket. And that's what happened. So she didn't pay it, she didn't show up to the hearing, then they sent her a little warrant saying, hey, you're in violation of that, right? She calls the court and she tries to say, oh, I mailed the check, but the post office must have screwed it up. And the court said to her, why didn't you just pay it online? And so she pled and paid it online. But she can't even take care of a ticket, and she's a congresswoman. It's like, honey, you could have just handed it to one of your staff and said, pay it. Use my credit card.
You want some sort of like personal assistant or something that can handle some of that, like pick up my dry cleaning and pay this ticket for me, you know?
But here's the thing that kills me about it. Because it's just a simple violation of a rule. We have a parking ticket or a speeding ticket or something like that. Most of us have, right? It's not criminal. It's a violation of a rule. It's illegal, but it's not criminal illegal. There's a difference, right? Robbing a bank, criminal illegal. Spitting on the sidewalk, violation illegal, right? But Lauren Boebert is very, very anti-immigration. And she wants to deport all the immigrants, and she's for the setting up camps and that Trump wants to do and taking away birthright citizenship and all that stuff. And I'm just real quick on her website. This is her border security thing, and it's all the stuff she's voted for to criminalize it and deport these people or put them in jail for being in the country illegally. The thing that cracks me up about it is it's a violation of a rule to be in the country illegally. If you keep doing it, it becomes criminal. But the first time you do it, it's not criminal, right? It's just a violation of a rule. But she wants to make it criminal. Well, gee, Lauren, you just sped. That's a violation of a rule. Shouldn't that be criminal? Well, I don't think so either. But I do agree that, yeah, if you keep coming back into the country illegally, then it becomes criminal. Lauren Boebert has multiple traffic tickets. She rolled her car once and got a reckless endangerment, right? And in fact, I think she gets one or two more tickets in Colorado, they take away her license. She gets her license revoked. But it's a double standard here, right? She can do all this stupid shit, but they can't. And it just cracks me up. And so I got to do this. Here it is. I think it's this one. Yeah. So because we're talking about Lauren Boebert wanting to criminalize all these people coming to the country looking for jobs, and then recently getting the speeding ticket problem, I thought it might be fun to go over her and her family's previous arrest record. So we're going to do that real quick. And I found this article from the Independent. Arrest, citations, and restraining orders. All the legal dramas in Lauren Boebert's family. So as you go through, yeah. So as you go through this article, they talk about excerpts from her book and stuff too. Her husband. So this one, the first one, 3 years earlier. Okay, Jason, her husband, had been involved in a controversial incident at a local hangout on a night when he decided to try and bond with my stepfather, Lauren's stepfather. So they went to this bowling alley. I guess he was getting into some conversation with a bartender about his penis, and then he decided to pull out his penis and show it to the 17-year-old girl that was working there. And then he got arrested and charged with indecent exposure to a minor, so sex crime. This is before they got married. Granted, she was 16, he was 22 when they met, so there was probably statutory rape in there too. But so that's her husband. Then you had her and at the Beetlejuice thing, if you guys remember that or not, we can go into that. I'll show you this quick clip here.
Boebert. Say it 3 times and she appears in security video from a weekend performance of Beetlejuice, where the congresswoman was kicked out of the theater for being disruptive. The DCPA says she was vaping. Boebert's team denied that, said the haze was from fog machines in the show. That claim goes up in smoke when you see the video. The pregnant woman sitting behind Boebert told the Denver Post she asked her to stop vaping, and Boebert refused. Her one-woman show continued, taking flash photos, raising her hands and dancing, often the only one clapping or standing up in the crowd. Boebert occasionally took a break from being disruptive to enjoy the company of her male companion. He briefly had a grasp on the situation before ushers returned and told Boebert she had.
So, I want to point out they were feeling each other up too at the musical. Lacey and I have had to cover this. This was a matinee.
People tend to really bring a lot of their kids to matinees, those earlier shows.
So her and her boyfriend are making out and groping during this whole thing, right? Or the guy she was dating. In Colorado, that's a misdemeanor. It's indecent exposure. So there's a criminal thing she wasn't charged with. Yeah. Oh man, she's on fire. This girl is on fire. So there was that incident with her husband. There was the incident where she did that. There was one where she was arrested for, what was it? So the first, the congresswoman herself, she found herself in handcuffs in 2015 at a Colorado music festival for basically getting into a fight with a cop at the festival. The following year, she was pulled over for speeding and arrested for non-payment of a ticket. So she's got a history of not paying tickets. In 2020, Garfield County obtained a restraining order in an attempt to stop her gun-themed rifle restaurant shooters. Last month, a restraining order was granted to her for her husband to keep him away because they're getting divorced. Recently, she's being, what was it, the 37-year-old company of the Democratic Aspen Barn for the Beetlejuice thing. Recently, she's been under investigation for punching her husband, her ex-husband.
Right, wasn't she like, I did not punch Jason?
I did not punch
like
Jason, yeah. And then her son, who's 18, who has a 1 or 2 year old, he just got arrested for it was like ID theft and a bunch of other things, and he's looking at several years in prison. So that's Lauren Boebert and her whole family. So, Colorado, please elect her again. We need content. Jesus.
Wow.
But that's why she switched to the 4th District, because it's conservative, and they'll probably elect her anyway. We'll see if she gets elected. She's still going to run against the other Republican there. But you would pick that over any Democrat. Even if it's the person's a former vet and very conservative Democrat, you'd still pick that because you don't like Democrats. I mean, that's just how backwards it is.
Oh my gosh.
Well, anyway, that's our show, everybody. We had to end on that one.
I just gotta say, we gotta hope she gets reelected, just because if she doesn't, then she's gonna disappear out of that spotlight, and we're not gonna be able to
exploit her anymore.
look at clips of weird stuff she does anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah.
She did finally pass a bill for the first time. So
Oh.
yeah. It was a minor thing. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So she got one done. See, Colorado, it wasn't a total waste. She got one. Your tax
Just
dollars
mostly
at work. Yeah. Well, anyway, Lacey, where can everybody catch you?
Alrighty, my friends, as always, you can catch me in my materials at mysensewithsense.com. You can find information about my courses and workshops on top of articles I've written. If you have any questions about any of those things and want to write into us, or you want to send us a clip, invite yourself on the show to come and talk to us, you're welcome to do so by emailing us. Where do they email us, Duncan?
Email us at gossipfinancead@outlook.com. It's down below. Invite yourself on, whatnot. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Please like.